Hello everyone, King Charles has made a shocking decision to remove both Prince Andrew and Camilla from their royal homes. This scandalous affair has shaken the British royal family and the public. New reports have revealed a secret relationship between Andrew and Camilla, a controversy that threatens the monarchy's image. King Charles' bold move to remove them from their royal residences has left many wondering if it's a sign of desperation. The monarchy has dealt with many scandals before, but this one feels especially damaging. It seems King Charles is sending a clear message the monarchy will not stand for behavior that threatens its stability or public image. Yet this decision raises some important questions about his true intentions. Is Charles genuinely trying to rid the royal household of its most troublesome members, or is he simply distancing himself from two figures whose actions have become too difficult to defend? Prince Andrew, with his numerous scandals, has long been a source of embarrassment for the family. Camilla's rumored involvement in an affair with him only complicates things, especially now that she is queen consort. This quick expulsion could signal Charles' desire to assert his authority and show a commitment to a more disciplined, scandal-free monarchy. But is it also a way to divert attention from his own struggles as the new king amid these high-profile removals? Camilla's removal is the most surprising of all. Over the years, she carefully worked her way from being one of the most disliked women in Britain to becoming the newly crowned queen consort. Many thought her place within the royal family was secure, believing she had finally gained acceptance from both the public and the palace. But her involvement in this affair has shattered that delicate acceptance. Her expulsion marks a major change in the royal household's inner workings. Camilla was often seen as a steadying influence on King Charles, offering him support and companionship after Princess Diana's death. Camilla's sudden fall from grace now raises serious concerns about the future of King Charles's reign and the loyalty of those closest to him. It makes you wonder if Camilla, after working so hard to win public approval, misjudged the impact of her actions on her new role. Did she believe that being queen consort would shield her from the fallout of her mistakes? Or does this expulsion suggest she has lost favor with Charles himself, possibly due to her involvement in this scandal? Prince Andrew's removal, on the other hand, is far less shocking given his ongoing legal issues and the many controversies surrounding him. His ties to notorious figures and accusations that have led to legal battles and settlements have made him a liability the monarchy can no longer tolerate. However, Andrew's secret affair with Camilla adds a whole new layer of complexity to an already difficult situation. This scandal reveals more than just poor judgment from Andrew, it highlights betrayal at multiple levels. He has betrayed his brother, his family, and the public's trust. His actions suggest a man who has not only lost his moral direction, but is willing to pull others down with him. By expelling Andrew, King Charles is not only separating the monarchy from his brother's disgraceful behavior, but also trying to reclaim the moral high ground. This decision, however, also highlights just how far Andrew has fallen from public favor and how his continued presence would hinder any attempts to reform and stabilize the monarchy. While the affair between Andrew and Camilla is certainly scandalous, it points to deeper issues within the royal family. At its heart, this controversy uncovers fractured relationships and the complex web of alliances shaping the monarchy today. For years, the British royal family has tried to present a united front, despite the personal and public challenges its members have faced. This affair reveals that these efforts haven't fully succeeded. It exposes a royal family deeply divided, not just by personal relationships, but also by differing values and priorities. Camilla and Andrew's secret relationship shows that some within the family are willing to engage in behavior that undermines the very institution they're supposed to protect. This raises serious questions about the integrity of those entrusted with representing and preserving the monarchy. The fact that this affair stayed hidden for so long raises even more concerns about the culture of secrecy within the royal household. What other secrets are being kept behind palace doors, and at what cost to the monarchy's image? While some may view King Charles's decision to expel Andrew and Camilla as a bold act of leadership, others might see it as a sign of desperation and weakness. It could be interpreted as an admission that the monarchy is in crisis, struggling to remain relevant and credible in a world that's becoming more skeptical. Charles may be trying to project strength and authority, but this drastic action could also reveal how fragile the monarchy truly is. Expelling two high-profile figures from the royal household hints at a level of chaos and dysfunction that may only deepen public doubt about the institution's stability. This decision could also alienate certain members of the royal family who may see it as overstepping or betraying family loyalty. Charles's actions risk deepening existing rifts and creating new divisions, making it harder to maintain a unified front. The public reaction has been mixed. Some applaud King Charles for taking a firm stance, while others criticize the way the situation was handled. On one hand, many believe that Andrew and Camilla's actions justified a strong response, seeing it as necessary and appropriate. On the other hand, some question the timing, the severity, and the consequences of such an unprecedented move. Critics argue that these expulsions may not be enough to repair the monarchy's tarnished image and could even backfire, stirring more controversy and public backlash. There's a growing sense that the public is getting tired of constant royal scandals, and efforts to manage the family's image seem increasingly obvious and less effective. King Charles is walking a fine line in the court of public opinion. He must balance tradition and modernity, authority and empathy, decisiveness and compassion, all while navigating a media landscape that's more invasive and less forgiving than ever. Reflecting on these recent events, it's hard not to view King Charles's actions as a desperate attempt to save a monarchy in turmoil. King Charles seems to be trying to save face and salvage what remains of the monarchy's reputation. After waiting decades to assume the throne, his reign has started on shaky ground, with lingering controversies from his past and constant scandals involving other family members. Charles now faces an uphill battle to prove his worth as king. Expelling Andrew and Camilla may be his way of asserting authority and distancing himself from their damaging legacies, but it feels like a temporary fix for a much deeper issue. The royal family's problems won't be solved just by removing a few troublesome figures. What's needed is a fundamental rethinking of what the monarchy stands for and how it can stay relevant in the 21st century. Charles's decision might offer a brief escape from the latest scandal, but it doesn't address the deeper issues that have haunted the royal family for years. There are still important questions about transparency, accountability, and ethics that must be answered if the monarchy is to regain the public's trust and respect. The British monarchy has shown remarkable resilience over the centuries, but this current scandal is a significant test of its ability to adapt and survive. The affair between Andrew and Camilla, along with their expulsions, has revealed deep cracks within the royal family, cracks that can't be hidden with public statements and carefully staged photos. King Charles now faces a critical challenge: how to guide the monarchy through this turbulent time while addressing the deeper issues that have been exposed. He must show not only authority but also a readiness to embrace change and reform. If Charles wants to secure the future of the monarchy, he will need to face the very real problems brought to light by this scandal and take bold steps to resolve them. This situation may require more than just symbolic gestures. It might need a complete reimagining of what it means to be a modern royal family. The surprising expulsions of Prince Andrew and Camilla Parker Bowles from their royal residences have certainly shaken things up, but there's more to this dramatic turn of events under King Charles's leadership. This bold move suggests a deeper, more intricate web of intrigue, power struggles, and strategic planning. It's not merely a reaction to scandal, it's a calculated decision with far-reaching implications for the future of the British monarchy. While Charles's actions may seem impulsive or reactionary, a closer examination reveals they are part of a broader strategy to reassert control over a divided royal household. For decades, he has been seen as a somewhat passive figure, often overshadowed by his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, and burdened by his own scandals. Now, with the crown firmly on his head, Charles is determined to redefine his role, presenting himself as a decisive and strong leader willing to make tough calls. By expelling Prince Andrew and Camilla, Charles sends a clear message: he will not tolerate actions that threaten the integrity or stability of the monarchy. This is a significant power move, reminding both his family and the public that he is not afraid to exercise his authority when needed. In doing so, Charles aims to position himself as a monarch committed to reform and modernization, even if it requires making unpopular decisions. However, this move also exposes a potential vulnerability for Charles. By expelling Andrew and Camilla, he is drawing a clear line, but he risks criticism from those who see him as heavy-handed or self-serving. The key question is whether this newfound assertiveness will strengthen his position as a strong leader or backfire, further undermining his credibility and authority. Camilla's expulsion is particularly noteworthy because it highlights the fragility of her standing within the royal family. Over the years, she has worked hard to improve her public image, transitioning from the shadows of Princess Diana to a more accepted role as queen consort. Yet this sudden fall from grace shows just how precarious her position really is. One might argue that her involvement with Prince Andrew, if the affair allegations are true, reflects a deeper insecurity or even defiance. Was she trying to assert her independence within the royal household, proving she wouldn't be just an appendage to King Charles, or was this a desperate attempt to seek comfort and validation outside her strained relationship with him, especially given his own challenges? Regardless of her motivations, Camilla's expulsion suggests that her role as queen consort is far from secure. It also raises questions about her ability to navigate the complex and often treacherous waters of royal life. Has Camilla underestimated the scrutiny her actions would face, or did she think her position was so secure that she could take risks? Meanwhile, Prince Andrew's removal from royal duties and now from royal residences seems to mark a definitive low point in a long downward spiral. The latest revelations about his alleged affair with Camilla are just one more scandal in a series of missteps, poor judgments, and outright misconduct. Andrew has long been viewed as a liability to the monarchy, and even his continued presence on the fringes has hindered efforts to improve the royal family's image. This expulsion might be seen as Charles finally taking the necessary step of cutting Andrew off from the privileges and protections that come with being a royal. But this raises the question, why now? Was it the affair that tipped the scales, or was it the culmination of all of Andrew's past controversies that made his removal inevitable? This could also be a way for Charles to signal to the public and the media that he is serious about reforming the monarchy and distancing it from unsavory associations. However, Andrew's expulsion may not be the final step. Charles could face growing pressure to take even more drastic action, such as stripping Andrew of his titles or cutting off his financial support entirely. This move may just mark the beginning of a more aggressive campaign to cleanse the royal ranks of problematic figures. The expulsions of Andrew and Camilla reflect deepening divisions within the royal family. These decisions weren't made in isolation, they likely represent years of tension, rivalry, and conflicting interests among various family members. By taking such bold action, Charles may have created a rift between different factions within the royal household. Those who support Andrew and Camilla might see this as a betrayal, perceiving Charles as willing to sacrifice even his closest family members to protect his reign. Conversely, others may view this as a necessary step to safeguard the institution from further harm. The expulsions also hint at a potential power struggle within the family. Charles's unilateral decision suggests he is determined to assert his authority, but it may also indicate he is aware of dissent or resistance among his ranks. Are there factions within the family that oppose his leadership, and what impact might this have on the future of the monarchy? Are these expulsions a way for Charles to consolidate power and neutralize potential threats? While the affair itself is certainly scandalous, it also highlights the deeper issues facing the monarchy. The fact that such a relationship could exist, hidden in plain sight, points to a level of dysfunction and disarray within the royal family that has long been suspected but seldom acknowledged. This affair exposes fault lines within the family, revealing a lack of trust, competing interests, and blurred boundaries between personal desires and public responsibilities. It serves as a reminder that the royal family is fundamentally a group of individuals with their own agendas, insecurities, and ambitions, often at odds with the image they are meant to present. This scandal has brought these underlying tensions to the surface, forcing the royal family to confront its own contradictions. How can they advocate for morality, integrity, and duty when their own members are entangled in behaviors that undermine those very values? The affair is more than just a scandal, it serves as a catalyst for a broader reckoning about what the monarchy represents and how it can maintain its relevance in an increasingly cynical world. By expelling Andrew and Camilla, King Charles is undoubtedly taking a calculated risk. On one hand, he signals to the public that he is serious about reform and willing to take bold actions to preserve the monarchy's integrity. On the other hand, he risks criticism that he is using his newfound power to settle personal scores or sideline rivals. There is also a danger that this move could deepen the crisis rather than resolve it. The public's trust in the monarchy has been eroding for years, and these expulsions might be seen as further evidence that the royal family is out of touch and unable to manage its own affairs. If Charles's actions are viewed as heavy-handed or unjust, they could provoke a backlash that further damages the monarchy's reputation. The challenge for Charles will be to convince the public that these expulsions are not merely about managing scandal, but are part of a broader strategy to modernize the institution and restore its credibility. This will require more than dramatic gestures. It will necessitate a sustained effort to show that the monarchy can change and is committed to upholding the values it claims to represent. Reflecting on this scandal, one cannot help but see the royal family as a precariously balanced house of cards. Balanced yet vulnerable to the slightest disturbance, the royal family is, at its core, a deeply flawed institution riddled with internal strife and contradictions. The affair between Andrew and Camilla is just the latest in a long line of scandals that threaten to bring the entire structure crashing down. King Charles may believe that by expelling Andrew and Camilla, he is reinforcing the foundations of the monarchy, but there is a risk that he is merely rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, delaying an inevitable reckoning if the monarchy fails to confront its deeper issues. There is also a sense that Charles is caught in a paradox. He wants to modernize the monarchy to make it more open, transparent, and accountable, yet he is constrained by the very traditions and expectations that define the institution. In trying to navigate both paths, he faces a significant challenge. He risks pleasing no one and alienating everyone. This latest scandal is not just a test of King Charles's leadership, it's a test of the monarchy itself. Can the institution survive another blow to its credibility? Can it adapt to changing times and prove it still has a role in British society? The expulsions of Andrew and Camilla represent a critical turning point. The monarchy can either seize this moment as an opportunity to reform and address the deeper issues that have surfaced, or it can continue to ignore the cracks and hope the public will forget. The choice is clear, but the path forward is filled with challenges. If the monarchy is to endure, it must be willing to change in fundamental ways that reflect the realities of the modern world. This will require courage, vision, and a readiness to confront uncomfortable truths. Whether King Charles is up to the task remains to be seen. I would love to hear your thoughts on this matter, as it is our main topic today. Please leave a comment below so I can share it with everyone else. We appreciate everyone who took the time to watch our video. If you enjoyed it, please give the channel a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe. We'll see each other again soon.